What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be going over how to scale your brand from $0 to $1 million and above on TikTok Shop. This is the full guide created by me and my team, and this is how we do it internally, how we scale brands. This is literally the secret sauce, and this is something that we've put together between myself and my team of managers, TikTok Shop managers, over the last year plus since TikTok Shop has been live. And this is something we've seen incredible results with. Members of my team on TikTok Shop, they work with our clients, they work with other brands. One of them helped Gorilla Mind, More Plates, More Dates' brand reach over $1 million in the last 6 months on TikTok Shop. So seeing absolutely insane results. Many of our clients doing just incredibly well on TikTok Shop right now. And so this is a fascinating and really exciting opportunity for brands. Obviously, TikTok Shop is not going to get banned on January 19th. God willing, TikTok Shop will continue to be live. But even so, with social commerce, this is something that can really have a ton of potential to scale your brand in Q1, in 2025, and beyond. And this is exactly how you do it right now, based on the way the algorithm is right now, in order to see really incredible results with TikTok Shop, with affiliates, with viral content. And this is something that is really for you if you're a brand owner. If you're a brand owner, if you're the marketing manager or CMO, this is something that you can use in order to scale your brand and is a really effective strategy. I'll go through briefly what we're actually going to cover. This is really just the introduction right now. We'll talk about developing a strategy, building out your roadmap 30, 60, 90 days and beyond, because in those different segments, you're going to be wanting to pursue different tactics, account optimization and setup, how to find good affiliates, managing good affiliates, and then more strategies for high GMV, high revenue creators, and then how we're going to get into ads there with chapters or points 8 and 9, getting into shop ads and GMV max ads, which, if you don't know, GMV max is AI advertising is an AI advertising tool that TikTok Shop offers in order where the algorithm actually decides which content should be boosted based on what's already performing best for you. And this is a way that AI can actually help you get just incredible sales. So we'll go through that and then conclude from there. And this is gonna, we'll go into it in a second. But just a little bit more about me. My name is Noah Friedberg. Over the last 3 years, I've run Maverick. I founded and have scaled Maverick Creative. This is my agency where we help 7, 8, and 9-figure brands to scale through using social commerce, particularly on TikTok, and now within the last year on TikTok Shop. Just an incredible opportunity to scale brands. We've seen clients scale, get hundreds of millions of views, including clients like Pudgy Penguins, where we help them scale, get 250 million views, and then actually sell out in Walmart, expand into Target, Walgreens, other stores, and of course, sell a ton on Amazon and their website as well. So we have a lot of great results in this category and are excited to kind of give away all the sauce. We're giving it away for free. This is something that we just do for the community to make sure brands are getting great results right now. And now we'll get right into it. So now, here are some of the key factors for growth on TikTok Shop. It's because this is not something that we're going to recommend for every brand. This is something for brands that are ready. And we'll go into that a little bit now. So the first factors that we're going to be looking for brands, this is, if you're wondering, is TikTok Shop a fit for me? These are the things to keep in mind. If you have a strong presence on Amazon off the bat, great fit for you. Good visibility, good sales on Amazon, you have a great advantage. For instance, selling 100K plus units on Amazon creates a strong brand recognition and trust, which can be leveraged on TikTok Shop. We are seeing brands go viral on TikTok with affiliates, with TikTok Shop, and then their sales increase on Amazon. Why? The trust level of Amazon is so high now that people or customers will prefer to purchase from Amazon. So Amazon is a great, massive opportunity. Amazon, if you're doing well on Amazon, it's a great indication that TikTok Shop is a massive opportunity. Okay, now, more SKUs, it's a higher success chance, right? The more different types of units, different products that you're selling is a higher probability of success because we have more, or you have more SKUs to test. You have more options of what things that can potentially succeed. It's like if you have a store, if you have many different flavors of ice cream, there's a flavor for everybody, right? Same thing on TikTok. You have a lot of different product options. That means there's a lot of different things that can be tested in the algorithm, different approaches, different creators, etc., that will give you the potential to see success. And so that is why having a lot of SKUs means you have a higher chance of success. Next, good marketing budget, having ample stock If you're able to send 1,000 free samples per month, I do recommend a lot of samples. That's higher than we've seen or recommended in the past 100, 200, even 500 on the high end, or that was seen as the high end, right? And now we are recommending 1,000. You got to have the budget for that. Obviously, you got to have the stock for that, because it's simply getting much more competitive. The good creators are harder to find, even if you're a good brand, even if you have a lot of money, whatever, you need to send a lot of samples, and it does become a bit of a numbers game. And so we'll get into more of that process and that approach later, but that's just off the bat. And next is, of course, healthy profit margins. And the reason for this is you have a lot of fees when it comes to TikTok Shop, right? You have the fee that TikTok takes, right? You have the fee that creators take. You have the fee of sending samples when you don't know that every single sample will result in a sale. And so obviously with enough good creators, all those faulty creators, all those silly samples that you sent that didn't become much of anything are worth it. But it is important to keep in mind, if you're not ready for that in terms of your margins, in terms of your marketing budget, if you don't have enough SKUs, right? If you don't have a strong presence on Amazon, you might not be ready. These are things that we are looking for, and you should keep in mind before you start putting a ton of time, effort, money, etc. into TikTok, because these are the factors that we find really guarantee success, really give you a much stronger chance of success. Now let's get into developing a strategy. So I would say in general, you've got to have a strategy. Don't just really go on there and start throwing stuff up. If you want to really just respect your own time, see success, you got to kind of have some sort of strategy. So I would say, obviously, define your brand, understand who your demographics are. These are like really basic things. What is your selling point? But I'm going to just kind of say the biggest thing is having content go live consistently, right? With that content calendar, that's A. And then B is finding what actually goes viral for you. Now, in order to get good sales, you need to have good eyes. If you don't have the views, then the sales are going to be very, very difficult. And so, of course, the best way to get sales by far, right? Ditch everything else. Find what works for similar brands and similar circumstances. And of course, this is a general business principle. They say good marketers copy, great marketers steal. I don't know who said that. It was Steve Jobs or somebody. But point is, when you find things that work for similar brands or in your niche, you can actually apply similar strategies. And so that is the number one way to actually craft your strategy, find what works, get those views as you go further. Now, the next thing is going to be the roadmap, and what I'm going to be talking about is really first month is setting in stone your strong foundation, right? So that foundation is going to be the affiliates, finding those affiliates, getting those good affiliates. Of course, before that, you need to have your account set up. Should have said that first, but set up affiliate reach outs and optimization. You want it to be user friendly. You want proper category placement, clear descriptions, proper photos, everything you can do to increase customer trust or perceived trust of your store and show, how reliable you are, how high quality your products are, etc., in order to get as many sales later on. And these things are important to do on the front end before you start to actually get all those eyeballs coming to your store. Next is going to be your 60-day goal of testing and iteration. This is a time where we start to send up a lot of content. This is a page, and this also applies with affiliates. This is a time where you're really editing your strategy, right? You're finding what works. And this is something I'd say with your strategy, it doesn't just come up at the beginning. It's something that you're constantly working on improving, right? Constantly editing, adding to, iterating, deleting, whatever it is, making sure you're finding those video formats and other methodology or other methods that actually help your brand see success. And of course, also beginning to earn paid ads around this time as well, which we'll get more into later. And then into the 90 days and beyond, this is the period where you start to see sales grow. This is where you can start to implement live streams, Spark ads. We'll get into that more. Experiment with the targeting. And the most important thing I'd also say is this is when you can get into flash campaigns, creator rewards, other things like that in order to grow further and start to really see sky is the limit and what are the next things. But really this is more of a starter guide to TikTok, and so I didn't get into that much detail about running flash campaigns or creator rewards programs or other things like that. That's more advanced, so I don't think it's really proper for this guide. And let me know if that's something you're interested in. We can potentially make content about that more in the future. Next, account listing optimization. When you start on TikTok Shop, you got to register your brand, obviously. And this is important because you want it to be a verified brand. We call this the honeymoon period. First 30 days, you have boosted your listings and your visibility is boosted. And so this is a time with a ton of potential if seized on and properly. Now, let's talk about optimization a little bit. You want your titles, your descriptions, etc. to be, good SEO, right? Good keywords, good search volume, and just make sure that the words people are searching for are the words that you're using, right, in order to be easily findable. Next, high quality images. I would say, at least 5 images that really make your listing appealing and really, just a high quality buyer experience, as well as building that kind of trust, right? Building trust is something I always come back to, no matter how good the content is, etc. If people don't really have enough trust in your business, then why would they buy, right? So really showing past orders, past experiences, how reliable it is, right? How quickly it ships, etc. All those kinds of things can really build on that trust. And then listing quality, ensure your listing quality is rated as good or not bad or fair, right? And of course, having high quality listings increases the chances of this, and obviously shipping on time and things like that, very important. Now we're gonna get into working with affiliates. This is important, right? Of all the things I'm talking about here, all the other things are how do you do affiliates right? You gotta set up your store right, you gotta do everything else right. And this is really the bread and butter of TikTok Shop, right? Having good affiliates. Good affiliates will make or break your brand. Affiliates are the marketers of your brand. They are the ones making the content, typically on their own social media pages or on smaller pages that they create. And these are the videos that are gonna be your number one source of content for paid ads. And they're also going to be the content that is gonna find and sell your ideal customers. All right, so this is key. And so let's get into this a little bit now. So you got, of course, your 1,000 reach out starter pack. And now I think just at the time that we're making this video, this is something that changes pretty often. So if you go in there and you see something different, it's possible. This is something that changes constantly. This is something that we finalized like first week of January, so of 2025. So if you go in there and it's changed, that's possible. As of now, I believe it's like 2,000 reach outs a week for free when you're underneath 2,000 GMV or gross merchandise value, just the TikTok Shop term for revenue. So we'll talk about kind of maximizing your couple thousand reach outs, and starting to get those initial sales so that of course sales can grow, and then you can actually have more reach outs and more opportunities to get great creators. Let's get right into it. Here's the categorizations that we look for in order to find good creators. Number 1, high GMV. This is the revenue that they bring in for brands. This should be over 20K. Next, average video views, at least 1K per video. If they're getting 300 video views per video, 200 views per video, 500, they're just a normal person posting on TikTok. That's like if anyone posts, any video on TikTok on a phone, it gets a couple hundred views. That's just kind of how it is. If it's just a normal video that's watchable, right? I'd say 1K and above, you're starting to see something that's actually of some level of quality, all right? And that's just in general. There are times where that's not the case, but I'm going to make that blanket statement because it's typically true. Next, estimated post rate, minimum 80%. Obviously, you want them to post constantly. You want them to be recent, right? If even if, I'll say this, even if you see that they made a 1 million view video, but you see that was 3 years ago, that doesn't mean they're currently relevant. So make sure that they are recently posting, all right? Make sure that they're recently, consistently posting. If these are creators that you know and you're talking to, that you're trying to hire based on you knowing them, make sure they have the time to be able to post for you before you start wasting time or money sending them samples, all right? So having that potential to see success, these are the top 3 things, right? Other things matter much, much less. By sending 1,000 targeted invitations, you can expect, I would say, around 200 requests for samples. Out of these, 50 to 100 sample requests initially will start to be those that get you some sales and really be successful. And I would say it's very asymmetrical, right? You have obviously a really wide net at the beginning, and it gets smaller and smaller in terms of what you're actually getting, how much content comes out of it. But the thing is, you only need a couple really great creators to make all of that investment worth it. So that's a very key thing to keep in mind. Now, of course, we talked a little bit about this. 2K in revenue is the first really benchmark or goal with TikTok Shop. That's the first step in order to grow. And so that's the first number we're looking to really reach. After that, additional creator reach outs start to open up and you get to really grow faster. Okay, let's get into more tips on effective affiliate management. And let's get right into it. All right, so target invitations outperform regular messages, prioritize these. Obviously, you can read everything I'm writing too. I can include a link to this document as well for people to kind of look at and just store. Next, communicating to creators. I will say this is relatively important. You want to kind of be pretty specific in terms of, keep in mind you're kind of hiring an employee here. So be specific. Don't be too afraid about being bossy. Obviously be respectful, but be specific with what you're looking for. Tell them, please create a high quality product video, not live, with good content that includes your face, right? You don't want content that's lame, right? You don't want content that's just like the most weak, lame content of someone just, filming a product and not really, selling, right? Make it high quality. The word UGC is good. It suggests that it's some kind of skit or something that's a little bit more creative or entertaining. It's something a little bit better there. All right. Next, once the content goes live, you want to get the Spark Ads code. This is a code that you get, that they have on the video. You can request it, and this code will allow you to run GMV max ads and really amplify reach and amplify sales. And highly recommend running Spark Ads as well. This is something that's pretty key in order to scale. This is something that TikTok basically requires in order to scale at this point. And the reason is obviously it's a way for them to make more money off of you, the brand, and this is how they do it. Next, rewarding high performing creators, right? This is key. When creators do well, you can increase their commission rates and you can actually give them their own retainer as well. So the typical benchmark that I would recommend is somewhere around 1,000 to 3,000 per 30 videos. And typically you need to manage them. You need to have a relationship with them. It's a lot of work as you're adding more creators like this. That's why a lot of brands hire agencies. Honestly, it's really hard to do otherwise. But that's typically how that looks. And then you start to kind of tell them, you'll get a higher commission rate. You obviously get the retainer and then, additional free samples. And then, we could talk a little bit about creator rewards programs, but I think most people are pretty familiar with how they work by now. 1,000 GMV that they generate, you give them something worth 10%. Obviously, 10,000, you give them something a little bit nicer. So it's typically like AirPods Pros for 1,000. For $10,000 that they create, that they generate, you give them an Apple Watch. It's like a pretty standard system. If they get you, 100,000 in GMV, then you buy them a Tesla. 800,000, you buy them a Porsche. So it's a pretty simple structure, and obviously this kind of pays for itself. Now, keep in mind, this is something we talked about before with margins. If your margins aren't good, you can't really afford to do a creator rewards program unless you're ready to lose money. So keep in mind that margins aspect is very important. Next, let's get into this alternate strategy. If you tried this first approach, which I would say is the more traditional method, and it's not working, here's how we would adjust. Focus on creators over 50K GMV. Ensure their average views are over 2K. Their estimated post rate is 80%, just like before. Use auto approval, all right? Auto approval, if they fit into this category, include 30% commission offer, and you can expect 20 creators out of 1,000 sample requests with around 5 videos going viral. That's just our internal number that we've seen be most accurate. It's based on our results, and maybe it'll be different for you, but that's what we see as a typical ballpark figure based on that. And of course, auto approval is the most efficient way to attract top creators and drive exceptional results. And then I made this spreadsheet, which I highly recommend as you're adding a ton of affiliates. And let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you. But this is something, where did it go? This is something, hang on. This is something that can really make it easy to track all your affiliates. And so the way that I recommend, let me see if I can make this bigger. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Let's see. Okay, here we go. So campaign tracker, this is a pretty typical spreadsheet kind of format. Put the name of the creator in the campaign tab. Put how many followers they have, the product, the video type, of course, video ad or live stream, status once it's live, deliver date, post date, link to the video, Spark codes, right? This is key as we talked about before, engagement metrics, and then GMV that they add. And so having these metrics in one simple spreadsheet, even if it's 500 creators long, will help you find the creators that are the most effective and the most impactful. I highly recommend something of this nature. All agencies use something along these lines, and most brands really should too. If you're managing hundreds of people, this is the best way to find the ones that are getting good results and cut out the rest, right? Really important. Don't waste time with creators that aren't getting you results. Obviously, focus on the ones that do and invest heavily in them, and that is the way that you are able to scale. And now let's get into ad strategy. And I'll say ads should only be started around 500 to 1,000 videos have been uploaded to your store. This can take 1 to 3 months typically. I would say for most brands, if they're using the approach that I was talking about earlier in terms of volume, in terms of a similar volume to us. Now, in terms of ad types, you got GMV Max, you got Spark ads, which are videos and have become the most effective we've seen, right? This is just based on what's worked for us. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you how we do it and the results that we see based off of this. So I'm sure there's other methodologies. I'm sure there are people that disagree with us. I'm sure there are many, right? And I'm not saying that I'm any kind of expert. This is just the way that we do it, the way that we've seen success. Shop ads, although they've been tested, haven't yielded significant results so far for us. Now, GMV Max, I would say this works on approximately 90% of product videos, specifically ones created by affiliates with your product link. And then GMV Max works on 10% of product cards, right? Meaning even if no video has been uploaded yet, there's still a chance to generate sales. And so that's pretty cool too. That basically just means it shows your product to viewers without even a video, right? Obviously you would want a video too, but that's just an option if you don't for some reason. Okay, when to run GMV Max ads? Run GMV Max on products that have generated minimum 1,500 GMV in the last 7 days and minimum 50 videos uploaded for that product, okay? And the reason for this is, as I wrote here, GMV Max ads tend to perform better when there is a high number of videos uploaded. You need as many options as possible in order to get the best results possible. This is exactly what we're talking about with this, having a large number of SKUs as well. This is something where the more options you have available, the more potential you have because you have more capacity to test. Just like with TikTok Shop in general, the more time you have, the more potential you have to scale, because the more you're able to test, the more results you're able to see. Next, ROI settings, start with a higher ROI target, around 15%. And this signals to the algorithm that you are ambitious, pretty much, that you're prioritizing achieving a high ROI, which optimizes the system to work accordingly. Now, if sales are not generating at that 15% ROI, reduce it by 10%, okay? And see if you will improve your results there. Now we'll get into a little bit about budget. $100 per day is what I recommend. And Shop prioritizes generating more sales over spending that full budget, ensuring cost effectiveness. Ad format, I would say select the auto option. This is because it allows TikTok Shop to promote videos from most of the creators who have used your product link, increasing the chances of more sales through broader reach. Now, separate campaigns for separate products. You're going to want to create separate GMV Max campaigns for each product instead of combining all products into one campaign. What's the reason for this? Running separate campaigns ensures the algorithm focuses on the specific product and its relevant videos, leading to better optimization and sales generation. Combining all products and videos into one campaign can confuse the algorithm, resulting in poor performance. Now let's get into Spark ad strategy. Most big brands grow through Spark ads. All right, check FastMoss. You'll notice most of their viral videos are running Spark ads with views in the millions. For their top 5 videos, Spark ads are consistently active, and that's really what you should look for. So let's look at Spark ads a little bit, how to run them, choose the right video, of course, target your category, gender, age range, everything in your demographic, and of course, add your specific keywords. I would say budget minimum $50 a day, and then you can, of course, increase that as you scale. But by utilizing Spark ads effectively, you can amplify the reach of your best performing videos, driving more views, sales, and brand visibility. So that's just a really, basic overview of how we get results. Obviously, we've seen brands really scale into the hundreds of thousands and millions in overall revenue through TikTok Shop. And that's pretty much what we do at Maverick. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can contact me easiest probably by DMing me on any platform that I'm on, Noah Friedberg. And of course, you can book a free time on my website to talk to me or a member of my team. We're not salesy, so if you're just trying to get on a call and learn more, we're happy to do that, and we are able to work with you potentially if you are a good fit for TikTok Shop or just general social commerce. So feel free to stop by, send me a message just to say hi, or if you have a specific question about this, I'm happy to see if I can help in any way, shape, or form, or just point you in the best direction. But other than that, I hope you had a great rest of your day. Have a great week. Have a great 2025, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.